Let's just see how many people I can get.
How does Periscope work?
It's through Twitter.
Tasting one.
That's where she walks in here all the time.
Who?
Can
you hold this real quick?
Yeah.
Move your hand,
sorry.
You want to do an interview? An interview? Yeah. What does ClexaCon mean to you?
Everything to me. All of these like shows and everything. Well, okay, South of Nowhere, you know that show? That show literally saved my life. So I don't know. All of this means so much to me. Like I drove from Ohio to be here. Like it means a lot.
Testing.
I can't wait.
Check.
What?
I can't wait just for all of the panels and everything.
You have anything? Test one, two. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. Hey.
Damn.
Where is it? Where's she coming from?
I have no idea.
W.
None of these
Okay.
seats, so that's kind of cool.
Test one, two. Test one, two. Kiki. No, Kobe's looking. Up here. Here. Test one, two.
Yeah. Yep.
It's.
Yeah, she was on the same flight together back from.
Hey, what does ClexaCon mean to you?
Oh my god, are you filming me? Everything. Just a chance to meet people I've been talking to online for 2 years. I mean, back from the first kiss between Berg and Lexa, I've just been following since then. So it's amazing to meet people I've been following for 2 years, and just to have a whole weekend with like with people I know. That's my favorite Lexa video. I just, oh god, I can't.
Everyone like doing
Look
it.
at it.
Watch,
Not
on
yet.
YouTube they have yeah.
A little late for that.
Surprise, y'all.
She's one of the people, it's April who's on the panel. Yeah. Yeah, thematic. Yeah. It's a video. It's my favorite one. Yeah, that's a good video. I watch their whole story all the time. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's like a movie itself. God, I'm so excited.
50. So 49. 50.
Her hair is awesome.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check. 1, 2.
Try it.
Test.
Try it now.
Test 1, 2. Test. Testing.
Pretty sure it's working.
Are you an actor?
No, I'm not. I want to be though, so that kind of made my heart really happy.
Yes, the whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, no, I love your shirt. I love that banner. That's one of my favorites.
Mind if I get?
Alright, we got some. Okay.
Mind if I get those two things on Periscope?
Australia makes it through Etsy.
Do you mind if I get that on Periscope?
Oh, yeah?
Your t-shirt on Periscope?
I have some.
Okay. How the fuck is everybody? Jesus. Get psyched, y'all. I mean, not that you're not psyched already.
This is my first con.
It's my first con ever. I mean, I want to go to all of them, but this is the one that really meant the most to me. So.
This is the one I could afford. Whatever.
That's true. It's cheaper than most. Like I saw that it was like $100 and something, and I'm like, I'm getting this now. I didn't care if I like. I'm just getting it now.
I'm a broke college student, thanks to
I'm
those.
just a broke person.
are still filing in.
Updating all the time so that people can know what I'm saying. Because they're like, you're going by yourself. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going.
I wish it came by me. See, my mother came with me. She paid for the plane tickets. Yeah. Well, but I had that to you know. Like, oh, I'll just hang out there. Oh my god.
You're the one who burns 300 You're the one who sent them there to kill us. We are strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for so long. Moments of happiness. It's not right, and I needed to do something. Definitely the scariest thing I've ever done. Okay, I'm crying.
Society is drifting toward accepting its own diversity in a way it's never been forced to. There are a lot of people who feel threatened by representation, by diversity.
Your actions show us a promise for a new future, a world in which violence does not always answer violence. But if we get much closer. Those we lost, to those we shall soon find. Everything that has happened this year in family, Liz's death would have changed me for the better, and I've just found so much purpose. Your legacy will be peace. We get lights back, please.
Hello. Welcome to ClexaCon 2017. I'm Jess from LGBT Fans Deserve Better. And we are absolutely honored to open Alexa's legacy. It's going to be a reflection of the past year and a celebration of how the LGBTQ community has been inspired to do some absolutely incredible things. I'm very excited to introduce some of this fandom's most celebrated content creators sitting in front of you. And say again, welcome to everybody joining us here in Vegas this weekend and online as well. I'm sure we're being streamed. Where's the Periscopes?
Is that Hannah?
And we're as we talk about how far we've come and what's next. So from here, oh, you're in a different order. Okay. From the end, we have Alexia at Lextopia, a documentary filmmaker, and who is also the coordinator of photo and video for ClexaCon. Next to her, we have Fumatic, a fan video aficionado. And then we have, all the way from the Philippines, the amazing Paper Cat and artist. Then we have Rin, YouTuber. And we also have Taz from LGBT Fans Deserve Better. She made that video.
I hope everyone was crying because I was counting.
I cried.
Cheers.
Like, come on.
I totally did. I was like, fuck yes, earlier.
I cried at my own crying face, so that's why I put it in. What are we talking about, Jess?
What are we talking about? We're going to talk about Lexa. You don't think you can do it? No.
I don't know. No, I'll use that.
We want to talk about the character of Lexa. The character of Lexa really struck a chord with fans all over the world. And I wanted to ask you guys, as creators, in your own words, why she resonated with each of you.
Yes, always the mouthy one. I think it's the same probably for all of us, because she was unique in that there was sort of the triumvirate of awesome. So there was strength, you know, there was honor, there was beauty, there was poison, so that's way more than 3, but she was just, and just loyal, honorable, steadfast, you know, consistent, and in love with, you know, another woman, and just really honest about that, so, yeah.
I think what intrigued me the most about her is that she was flawed, and that was where her character showed the most, is when she was faced with the tough decisions, and she was so wise and well-rounded. All the things that Alexia said were the things that spoke to me about Lexa.
Well, I think for me, mostly, you can't see a character, you can often see a character who reaches out to you in a personal level. I mean, there are a lot of representations there, yes, that's true, but you don't feel like it's reaching out to you on a personal level. For me, Lexa did that. She inspired me to do a lot of things, a lot of art for the community.
That's a good answer.
Thank you. You're very patronizing.
It was from the heart. Anyway, yeah, Lexa to me is, I think, she was such a strong character. She had to be so strong. And I think that relates to us as being women in general in this society. But on the inside, you know, she's like a soft teddy bear. So I just, like, I really admire that she had to put on sort of this front and be that person, their leader, but at the same time, you know, she was still soft, so I like that.
See, that's a better answer.
Now I have to follow for you, like, you guys are fine. For me, I think it was the same. It was about her having flaws and having to make some impossible decisions. And it's the kind of thing where, like, when I try and think of someone who can inspire me in that way, where when I do have to make a really tough decision, or not that I've ever had to, murder someone or stab them or whatever, but if I had to, I can draw on that, right? So I've got it. And I don't know, she's really hot.
She's awesome. Just
I'm just here to keep you guys in line. Thank you, everybody. So we're all here today, the 1-year anniversary of March 3rd, 2016. Lexa was killed on screen in an episode that really sent shockwaves not only through our fandom, but provoked a response in mainstream media and in the LGBTQ community as a whole. So I wanted to ask again, and we'll go down the road a different way, on the spot. What was that like for you? What was that experience like for you? And what made this experience watching that on screen different from other queer character deaths? Because they're not uncommon. They weren't before and they weren't after, but this one was really special and really had an impact on our community.
Sure. I think for me, it was probably the first one that I experienced sort of firsthand. I've seen a lot of them and I would see them after. I live in Australia, we don't get shows. So this is the first one I watched live for starters. And it was, it had a huge impact, especially, I was at work when I watched it. And I was like, it was my lunch break. It was my lunch break, and we have a screening room, so I was in this like theatre on Skype with my friends while we were watching it. And we got to that, we were just all like, no, I mean, it can't have. And I had to go back to work for another 3 hours, and I was just like, and I was just watching the Twitter feed, and I think it was a little bit of having Twitter be such a big medium now, and a big medium in this community and in this fandom as well. And just like watching it play out and watching people's like heart break in real time. And I just went, I can't just like let this go. I've let it go before, but yeah, this was the time we had to do something about it. We did.
Yeah.
Follow back.
I think you made a really good point about it, how just because of how big social media is, everyone can connect, everyone can see it in an instant, like the reactions. And I guess my reaction to 307 is on YouTube.
You've seen it.
I
almost put it in the video, but I would have gotten murdered.
No. I think it just touched everyone in the same way, and everyone was looking for support after the episode, so everyone flocked. Everyone flocked to social media just to like reach out and see who else is there, who else is feeling the same thing. And I think all of us experience this like communal grieving together, and I think that's what brought fandom to how close people are.
We all look where we are.
Exactly. I think this is
half of my friends are from it.
This is a result of that episode. Like, we made this because of how much we all needed each other. So it's kind of amazing and unbelievable. Yeah.
Don't tell my boss. I was at work at that time. I was actually drawing something for work, and half listening and half watching at the same time. So I had to stop and like just do that. And my boss was like, "Are you okay?" I think I have a cold. And then I had to go to the bathroom for 5 minutes just to cry it out. And then hold it in for another 6 hours until I get home and just let it all out. So for me, ever since I've been creating art for the fandom, it was a huge loss because the inspiration was lost, the entire, I don't know, it's like losing a friend. I've been saying this over and over. It's like losing a friend for me.
Can you repeat the question again?
Just make people cry.
Reaction after 307.
So I have a little bit of a different perspective because I am an older fan and I've lived through many fandoms where this has happened, so I was sort of desensitized to it. And we didn't have social media back then. Like, I was a big Willow and Taro fan, and like, back in the days, just mentioned. So we all just kind of did it on our own, but when this happened, I actually got spoiled on Tumblr because I was stupid and went on prior to going. And funny story, I actually binged the whole show right up to 307. So I was great. I was like, oh, Kath, I'm caught up with everybody. I'm going to enjoy this moment. And then that happened. So,
you enjoy it?
Not anymore. But it was interesting to see the reaction and see how everybody collectively came together and was this driving force. And I hadn't seen that before. And because everybody was online, because everybody was able to come together, meet each other, talk about it, and create this dialogue, it was just amazing to me, because that's not where my background in fandom comes from, being an older fan. So seeing how you guys organized and made something of it and made it meaningful really, really inspired me. So, yeah.
So I have never been involved in a fandom, so this was my debut, you know, my coming out in fandom. And how I found the whole Lexa story was I was doing what all good lesbians do. I was Googling hot lesbians on found it on that, yes. So similar to Fumatic, where I sort of started back, because I actually watched live the first season, and by the 4th episode, I was like, this is such a shitty show. I need to leave. So then I went away for a year and a half. Oh my God. And then I was hot lesbian. And then I found it. I was like, season 2, you know, the kiss. And I was like, holy fuck! So the original inspiration was the fucking chemistry that Eliza and Alicia had. And we just like, So now I'm gonna make everybody really fucking depressed, because so I knew, again, I'm not on Tumblr because it's fucking hard. Why? It's ridiculous. I don't know how you do it. Anyway, so Twitter.
Sorry.
So, what?
Little Lexa just answered the Philippines.
Oh my God.
Swear now. This is unbelievable.
What's your name? You want to come sit? What's your name? Okay.
She's in character.
Thank you, little Lexa.
Thank you so much. That's Lexa's legacy right there, y'all. Come on. So I'm doing my due diligence on Twitter, and I knew it was coming because everybody had seen it. I think because I'm not watching live, I'm doing the streaming thing after the fact. So I knew it was coming, and I had the ability to like hear about stuff being spoiled and still feel the same. You know, to like do it. Wow, I'm babbling. Still experience it as if for the first time. So I knew she was going to die. Didn't know how. Didn't know what. And I went into. I had my car like blew up, and I had to take it into the mechanic on the day that I was going to watch. And I was like, fuck, and I was literally like, just shaking. I was having a panic attack. I was having a full-on anxiety experience where, you know, like the Charlie Brown teachers, like that's what I was hearing all day long. And I'm sitting in my mechanic's office going, this is unbelievable. And what was happening was, it was the exact same feeling and experience in my body that I felt when my mother died. Oh. So I knew this was, number one, it was real. And number two, it was very, very bad. So when people tell us it's just a fictional character, total bullshit. I don't believe it.
I do have one question. And I would like to, yeah, I know, we fill some time. I would like to shout out to our great research and stats team behind LGBT Fans Deserve Better, and we are going to be using them all weekend long on all of the very many panels that they've plucked us on, including one right after this. I'm going to dash and and go hang out in another room, and we're gonna run it over to you. So we have a great team there. We have a brand new website. We have all kinds of amazing projects coming up, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But I just wanted to say, particularly last spring, I think all of us had the sense that this was a unique thing that happened, but then it kept happening over and over and over. And so why that maybe felt really impactful is just last TV season, we had 22 lesbian and bisexual female character deaths, and just last spring alone, there were 13. So that is like an incredible amount. And I think that, all of us sort of felt each and every one of them. This year, there have only been 12 in the entire TV season. So that really was quite an impact. So then I think we've all reflected on that. I think let's talk about Lexa's legacy. Peace. Yes. And let's
I wrote it down. One second. Ooh. Okay. So first and foremost, I think that Lexa's legacy is the continuation of the conversation about diversity and representation. We kept our energy and passion up for a fucking year. Amazing. And that right there, we already made a difference because Hollywood is shaking in its boots. There's a window. They are circling the wagons. We have to keep the pressure up. Capiche? Okay. 2. Fan art is Lexa's legacy. Oh my god. Fan fiction. And something that I don't know if you guys know, but so many fan fiction writers that I've been in touch with, not for any reason at all, are budding screenwriters. So we are going to infiltrate Hollywood. It's going to be all of us. So I expect any fan fiction writers in here. There's a wonderful a software free online called Celtx. It's CELTX, and it's a free online script writing program. So get on it. And then the last, of course, Lexa's legacy is number 1, us. Evangelists. And ClexaCon. This is the first. It's absolutely not going to be the last.
I'd also just want to shout out to all the organizers who put this together for us, for their blood, sweat, and tears that they invested to give us a forum to talk, to have a space to meet each other, and to come together and enjoy fandom. This is how it's supposed to be, right? This is how it's supposed to be. So, Ashley, Danielle, if you guys are out there, you guys are my heroes. I swear fealty to you. I want to be you when I grow up. So. And Nicole and Holly. Thanks, guys.
If anyone does want to propose on this stage, I know someone posted on Twitter that they should do it. Let's just get that out of the way now. Because we have to kill some time. No, I'm just kidding. I have a bit of a follow-up. I mean, you talked about what Lexa's legacy is to you. I wonder if individually, in terms of what you guys are going to do moving forward, do you have plans for the future? Is she still inspiring you? Do you have anything to plug? Twitter handles? What are you doing? What videos are you making? How is she still inspiring you? This is the end.
Well, I think it was, like, she inspired the start of it all to me. Like, just getting involved in fandom and wanting to be more involved and, like, doing something positive with it all. So I guess she's, like, she's the catalyst for everything that I do online now. And yeah, in terms of
reason for living.
She's my reason for living. But in terms of what I'm going to do in the future, I guess I'm going to still do Supergirl reactions. I'm a few behind because I've been here. But I'm also hopefully doing another few shows coming up. So I think that's about it in terms of plans. But yeah, definitely just doing whatever I can to help, like, you guys, LGBT fans, and
if you want to volunteer. If anyone else wants to volunteer, please email us.
Everyone should volunteer now. But yeah, just stuff like that, I think.
For me, of course, I'm gonna keep doing what I do. We've been trying to make a comic.
Oh. Really?
have time right now because of ClexaCon, but if I can, I will continue doing that after this, hopefully. And if we get writers on board, then that would be great.
Yes, please.
We've been talking about a collab, the three of us,
Yeah, we have.
on Twitter. We'll make a video that'll just, like, no one will survive. Let's do a motion coming.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
This is like a meeting.
I did say I would buy you shots and we would talk about doing videos, so we're there.
We can talk about that.
She's like, no, too much work.
Did I say that? I didn't say that.
What's been interesting to me is when I first started making fan videos, I started with VHS tapes. I had to buy the box set DVDs of my favorite seasons and invest a lot of money in it. And back then, there was no YouTube. There was no streaming sites to get the videos out. So I didn't know if I had an audience. I had to create my own website, upload videos. So it's been interesting being part of this fandom and seeing the reaction to it because I never got that feedback. I never got whether or not anybody watched anything I did or if anybody cared. So when I made the ClexaCon Tree Crew vid, that actually started off as in a different version. I'm glad I didn't go with the first one, but the second one, I was really surprised to see the response to that. Like, I never got more than 1,000 views over anything on YouTube, and when that just took off and skyrocketed into space, that was a great feeling. And I feel like maybe fan videos aren't necessarily everybody's cup of tea. In this day and age, it's like we want our stuff to be easily consumable and do it really quickly. You know, like with your fan art, you can just look at it and be present with it. I don't know if you guys want to invest 4 minutes in watching something, but I hope that seeing the stuff that I made, and
it's going on the screen. I turned the volume up too.
And what everybody, you know, there's tons of people who make it, and for me, it's that marriage between what you see and what you feel, and the music that just enhances that feeling and that emotion. And I like to. What you're feeling is what I'm feeling when I'm making it. What you're feeling when you're watching it is what I feel when I watch it. And to share that with you guys and know that it's what everybody's feeling, you know, it's a commonality, is really great. And there was another point I was going to make.
I think that's something, I mean, we probably all share, is that it's a really therapeutic way to get it out. And I don't know if there's probably a ton of other people here who make stuff, but making
also
stuff...
sorry, not sorry.
Don't apologize. Always make people cry.
Aren't you the one that gave us Saturn?
I gave a version of Saturn.
But I feel like everyone...
Is it the one that like ruled them all?
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yeah.
And the thing, moving forward, the thing about fan videos is there's a very finite amount of resources you have. So once you've made a ton of them, there's really not much more you can do with them. So my hope is to kind of take the amount of subscribers that have subscribed to my videos and do more shows, like Supergirl, which I'm watching with my kids. My 7-year-old daughter is so into Supergirl right now. It's amazing. So and
cosplay.
Is that
cosplay?
Oh, total cosplay.
I want her to meet Mini Lexa.
Shipping it. So just moving forward, but also remembering where it all started and where we came from, and honoring that.
So I don't know how many of you know, but I'm actually officially coming out about I am making a documentary called Clexa is Ours.
Just then.
No, I'm not.
We have one of those too. Anyone else?
But the subtitle will tell you everything that it's about. It's called On the Need for Balanced Cultural Representation in Television. So it's going to be exactly what you think, but there's going to be a lot of science to it, because what I want both fans and the industry to understand is that, like what I said before, there are real emotions going on here. And there's a lot of data about how this kind of thing, this kind of stress is bad. But it's also, we're not alone. You know, I'm going to shout out to Black Lives Matter, Oscar's So White, Whitewashed Out, everybody. Essentially, we have to kill the idea that there is a norm, and that the norm is straight, cis, white men. all the sciencey bits are going to be talking to what are called marginalized communities, and I'm going to do my very best to never say those two words together ever again, because we are not marginalized. Nobody's marginalized. We're all the same. Biologically, we all do the same fucking thing. So why the hierarchy? It's making me crazy. It doesn't exist. So if we all just in our minds say, no more norm. The norm is everybody. The norm is breathing. The norm is eating. You know what I mean? That's odd. But you get what I'm saying. So that's what the film is going to be about.
I realize we probably should have just intro. I'm going to play those. You're on. I know you're on a bunch.
They just plugged me in everywhere, wherever they needed some. I am doing a bunch. We are doing, as LGBT fans, we have this one. We have the year in review also in this room at the end of the day today, sometime 5:30 I think, which will be a really interesting discussion. You're on that one. Do not try to get out of it.
I have no idea what's going on. I spent 2 days making that video till 5 a.m. So let's just sleep, please.
And then we're gonna have a really, really, really interesting discussion on Sunday if everybody's or anybody is still alive. Wants to come at noon on Sunday. We're gonna have a really great discussion about why representation matters. So I am also on the BioRep panel that is coming up in like 20 minutes or half an hour or something like that. I'm gonna get both. And then,
don't take them with you.
Yeah, you are on
queer social media.
Yes, tomorrow. Sometime.
And we have a booth, so if you guys, I don't know how many people have had a chance to check out the floor yet, but it's all set up, it looks awesome, we have badges, I'm going to give you some badges in a minute, maybe if you know some answers to some questions. We have t-shirts and books with all the proceeds from the new t-shirt, exclusive ClexaCon t-shirt and book, multi-fandom art book. You're in it, people are in it. It's going to be awesome. All of the proceeds of that are going to go to the Trumpet Project. Let's hit 200,000. We can try for this weekend.
Yeah. We've got
200K this weekend?
No, not this.
Why not? Why not? Everyone buy a book, and we might get there.
We might get there. Anyway, but the work that we are also doing as an organization, we are a registered nonprofit now. We have we have our act together, we promise. We have a brand new logo, a brand new website, and an amazing team behind it, and we have some really incredible projects coming up this year. We have a whole group of amazing volunteers who are working on a couple of projects, a TV scoring project, which I don't entirely understand. There's like formulas involved, so I'm not, but it is going to be something that is going to take into account the fact that just appearing as queer people on screen is not enough anymore. We want to talk about the quality. We don't want to talk about the screen time. We want to talk about the impact of the message. We want to talk about tropes. So they are doing some incredible work and watching a whole lot of TV. And if anybody likes to watch TV, I know they're looking for people to watch TV and be part of our.
Nobody in this fandom for sure, like, no, right?
So that is going to be launching in the spring. We also have a shout out to Recap, if anybody knows Recap Anon. Cheer for Recap, okay. She is also going to be doing something that is an answer to a criticism that comes out every single time a queer character dies. Straight characters die too. Well, they do, but not at the same rates. So we have another project that is going to be scoring all of those shows where queer, female, bisexual, and lesbian characters die, and comparing those rates. And we have some samples, and they are pretty damning already. So that's
hold
also
people accountable for once. We're gonna hold people accountable. You know, that's what we're about.
Yeah.
So keep tweeting, keep trending.
And so we are also going to be doing, I think, wanting to expand our conversation to some real intersectional issues that we haven't been able to touch on before. So we're gonna start doing some roundtables, some discussions. And so anytime anybody wants a platform, wants to get our attention, wants to have a conversation around a specific question about a specific issue of rep, like, come find us on Twitter, find us on our website, get involved in the conversation. We are here for you guys too. So that's my plug.
That's a lot. Cool. Let's watch some videos.
Yeah.
A little intro from you while I run over there to press play on this video.
So this video, it's interesting reading the comments because it's like, I hate you, I love you, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I still watch it on the daily because, and it's funny the emotions you go through. Sometimes I watch it and I feel very depressed, other times I feel inspired, and so it's always a new experience. And I've never watched it with people before, so I'm so happy that you guys are here to screen this. Are we what?
Mood writing.
What's your name?
Lexa.
We've connected.
I've learned much about you. You think our ways are harsh. That's how we survive. Maybe life should be about more than just surviving. But we deserve better than that. I lost someone special to me too. I thought I'd never get over the pain, but I did. This is war, Clark. You cannot stop this. No, only you can. What happened here will not stand. The dead will be avenged! 250 people died in that village. I know you fell for that. But you let them burn. Not everyone. Not you. The duty to protect my people comes first. Please don't do this. I'm sorry, Clark. But I made this choice with my head and not my heart. Can we meet again?
Well, let's meet this. And Commander is to be alone.
Hello, Clark. War is brewing. I need you. You bitch!
You mean no matter. But now's not the time for good intentions. When I moves against you, your enemies are searching.
And not let the fear of war dictate our agenda. I'm sorry.
I've served 4 commanders as Flynn Kipman. None of them half as wise or strong as Lexa. The truth is, she was all those things even before Ascension.
You're right, Clark. Life is about more than just surviving.
The lights are staying on, so everyone can cry.
Somebody just said hashtag trigger.
Good one, man.
I mean, it's better than the show.
Alright, you want to intro the documentary clip?
Yes. So In the Dark, this is perfect, actually. This is just a very, very quickly excerpt, like what I was talking about, a little bit of science, a little bit of industry. So. Thank you very much.
A lot of times the kind of creation of the white male persona is often vis-a-vis the other. So whoever that other is, right? Whether it be a person of color, LGBT person, someone who's differently abled, it's really easy to kind of create these throwaway characters, right? Or villains in order to kind of build up the white male hero.
If you're invisible, if you're just not there, then it's like you don't exist. If people take a lot of their, quote, reality from what they see on television. So if you have an absence of black characters, if you have absence of women characters, transgender characters, people just cannot know they're there. And you can't make a statement one way or the other about it. But if you put them there and it's all stereotypic, you got another level of problem that you have to clean up.
When there are so few representations of particular groups, there is a danger of those youth not seeing themselves represented and seeing themselves represented in negative or demeaning ways. It impacts them in terms of self-esteem. So there's a study of boys and girls, white and black, and how the more television they see and what impact does that have on their self-esteem. And the study found that women, so all women, black and white, as well as black boys, had lower self-esteems. And whereas white boys actually had higher self-esteem. So this shows that the biases in media in terms of heroes, who are the heroes, who are the leads, who are the movers and shakers on television are white men, whereas women and people of color are disproportionately put in token roles, in demeaning roles, in sidekick roles, in roles where they don't make an impact on society, and maybe they're not even something to aspire to. And that's an epidemic, right? That's a real problem in society that we need to take seriously, because mental health is something that we don't typically think about enough in terms of public health issues, right?
Ooh, weird.
Put in the voice.
What was he saying?
Okay, you've got to diversity. That's really hard. The industry is shit scared because we're all super white and male and we like being in power. I mean, it's good, it's really good. And we get rich. And look at this guy. I mean, what a douchebag! My God. So and then also because women, I mean, they're like, we had the feminists in the 60s, we had the something else in the 70s. Even it doesn't matter that there's like top-rated shows with black people, and it doesn't really matter because the industry is like, fuck. If we want to introduce a gay character, are they going to be okay with this? It's really, really hard to do because this is a norm, and we like our norms, and there's no way that we're going to take this thing that we are really comfortable with. It's static, it's a stereotype, but it's working. We're not going to change it, okay? We're not going to change it. So here's the thing. the studios they're a bank. You basically, when you make a show, you propose 22 episodes of a show. You ask a bank to give me $100 million so that I can make 22 episodes of a show. And so they're naturally very, very conservative. This is actually what he said. I'm literally quoting. This is funny. Oh, and then so it's going to be very difficult for them to get off of their high horse because what is making them the money back has been the same way for 40 fucking years, by the way. So, and that statistic before was real. Like in film in particular, this is not Huddy, this is actually me now speaking. 40 years, women's representation in movies hasn't changed. Hasn't changed in 40 years, like that's it. So then this is the part where he goes, so when we introduce a gay character, we better be knocking it the fuck out of the park. Something like that.
And sorry, dude, sorry. Alright, we are going to do a little Q&A now. If anybody has some questions for our lovely panelists, not for me because I'm not a creator, so leave me alone.
I was really concerned for a second. We wouldn't have any questions.
Hi, my name is Lina. I'm from Denmark, and I'm actually writing a paper about this grief that we are experiencing. And I have a question. The term disenfranchised grief means grief that aren't accepted by society or norms. And I think my thesis is about that was what we were experiencing, and that's why we had this outrage and all that. What do you think about that? That it is this disenfranchised grief, that this lack of accept, lack of validation from the society actually, I don't know, what do you call it? Makes it even worse, you know, like.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So yes. So let's go back a few hundred years in the United States of America and talk about slavery for a second, because African Americans have been suffering what are called microaggressions since they were brought to this land. It's 100% real. And if you want to read about it, there's an incredible book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGroy, and it traces. It's really, really fucked up. So what ended up happening is that the vibe of stress from slavery is passed on from generation to generation. It's not like a genetic thing or something like that, but it's a behavior. So you know about the stereotype of African Americans have, like not comfortable going to the doctor or something like that. There are all these that's where that comes from, because they were treated so badly for so long. So now you translate that into any other blank, I'm not going to say it, community, and it's the same. So, another obvious group that's getting a lot of heat since time immemorial are transgender folks. Because if they don't pass, then they get a lot of aggression. And think about, I mean, honestly, we're all women, so we have microaggressions every single day. I mean, you can count probably in the course of every single day, or probably you can count better the days when you aren't misogynized in some way, when you aren't treated as a second-class citizen in some way. So all of those things, we're internalizing them 24/7. So that's why this kind of conversation, we have to keep it up. We have to keep, going forward and being courageous to battle against that. That's the only way we're going to break the cycle.
Thank you. Another question? Anybody else?
So obviously what's significant about Clark and Lexa is not only that they're a lesbian couple on TV, but that they're both significant independent leaders within their own culture, despite the fact that they're very, very young, and yet even the adults in their own culture respect them.